Gemini. It is one half of the duo, Gemini, the Empress Divine, coming to you on the Empress Divine Channel, channeling for the Gemini Divine Feminine, loving on you so hard and so deep, and giving you a reading for the full moon in Cancer Feminine, okay? We always start with the goddess guidance to give us an overlying message. Then we go into the message specifically for you, feminine. And then we can talk about love at the end because it's always ladies what first, okay? So, goddess guidance for Gemini Divine Feminine. Let's see what's up. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, Gemini? What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, Gemini? Full moon in Cancer for Gemini. Full moon in Cancer for Gemini. Hey, 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 bow, ow, bow, ow, yeah, hey. All right, now that's enough. Gemini, full moon in Cancer. I'm trying to get a card to flip on out. It ain't gonna flip out while I was playing, I guess. Gemini, full moon in Cancer. Gemini, full moon in Cancer. Gemini, full moon in Cancer. All right. Felt led to pull that on out, and it says easy does it. There's no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing, divine timing. Okay, perfect timing is divine timing. When Mother Universe and Father God get together and settle their differences and they coexist peacefully and they are in union, that energy can trickle right on down to us little microbes here on this limited 3D, atmosphere, and then we can start getting our stuff together too, internally. And then maybe even so in relationships. It goes deep now. But there's nothing for you to worry about, Gemini. Absolutely nothing at all. Everything is happening when you need it to be. You're not late. If you miss a deadline, that wasn't for you anyway. Just easy does it. Be at ease. Because when you give too harshly or you do too much, it can repel things. Okay? And I'm speaking to the feminine energies about that because I don't want us to get into the habit of giving when we should be receiving regularly. You receive, then you give a treat. You receive, then you give a treat. You receive, then you give a treat. And that's how that works. That's how that works. So Gemini, we have the King of Staffs, and this is again just for you. King of Staffs, the Hierophant, even though these are very strong energies. The Magician, again, very strong energies. Knight of Cups with high standards to boot. And another King, the King of Swords. All right now. Where there's a will, there's a way. And that also associates with the perfect timing energy we have here. Wherever there's a will, Gemini, there is a way. And if there's a way to do something, Gemini will find it. And not only will Gemini find it, Gemini will find a shortcut and will also find an equal alternative. Because you guys just collect knowledge. And I feel like that's one of the biggest things that you're collecting right now. This sword pointed down means that you're digging for knowledge and understanding of something that is kind of cyclical. So you could be dealing with something that has kind of happened before in your life, or you're starting to notice how things are happening in cycles in your life, how you maybe keep going through the same thing over and over again, or you may keep finding yourself back at square one and wondering why. What is it? So you're taking inventory. Libra had something that was similar to this, talking about, just kind of digging deep into, okay, why is it that I'm just staying above float? Why am I not prospering? Maybe it's something within me instead of the circumstances outside of myself. With Gemini, it is similar, but it's just like you're gathering all the knowledge and trying to just get a deep understanding of what's going on in your life, what you're about to do in your life, the decisions you're about to make. But I do feel that overall you're already satisfied and pretty much 99.9% certain of what it is that you want to do. We have the Nine of Cups here, but it's right beside the Magician, which is the 1. 9 plus 1 is 10, which equals 1. Okay, so you kind of already know what the one is, that one job, that one place, that one move, that one big decision that one transformation, you pretty much already know what it is. You just kind of fact checking for yourself right now. You know, doing a little double check. There's nothing wrong. You know, measure twice, cut once. It's much better that way. So don't feel that you need to be pressured to do anything, which I don't feel like is a big problem, because ain't nobody pressuring the King of Staffs, because the King of Staffs will snap on you and they will tell you to stay in your place, okay? Especially with the King of Swords bordering it. So there's very much so king energy here. And again, I just want to remind you to not feel like in order to be in like a king energy that you have to just go, give, do. You don't have to exert yourself in that type of way, feminine, because that's just not the way that we operate in a spiritual sense, okay? And spirituality is a big thing here with the Hierophant. You may be kind of doing some reading on that, or following life coaches online, looking at things on Netflix, or in some way doing some research, because the Hierophant reminds me of like law libraries and courthouse document, you know, storage rooms, and, you know, regular libraries, more specifically though the nonfiction section. You're just trying to figure out what's the right way to go about things. You could be looking up how to, you know, file a deed, how to buy a house, how to, you know, purchase land, just that type of stuff. And it doesn't even have to be, you know, exactly what I said, but it's more like you're just kind of looking over the procedures that it'll need to take. It's very practical energy, which is a good thing for Gemini, because Geminis don't always come across as the most grounded people. But again, I feel like whatever decision you're getting ready to make, you've already given it a lot of thought. Like, it's not just some fly-by-night decision that you're about to get ready to make. So you just want to be well prepared. You want to make sure everything is perfect. You want to have it all together. You just dotting your I's and crossing your T's. You know, staying on your P's and Q's and all the other letters and whatnot. So let's look at your, what is that? Your love. I forgot the word love. Let's look. Oh, that could be a message. Or what Kingdom say? Message. And you're looking at, you know, researching and, you know, trying to get things together for this big move that you're about to make. Have you forgotten about love? Let's see. Love around the full moon in Cancer for Gemini. Love around the full moon in Cancer for Gemini. Love around the full moon in Cancer for Gemini. Love around the full moon in Cancer for Gemini. Oh, we got the Tower with the Seven of Cups. There's a lot of different ways this can go. Like infinite possibilities happening here. You know what I also feel? I also feel the energy of multiple personalities. I'm sorry, that's just the energy that I'm getting from those two cards together. The energy of multiple personalities. Y'all just let me know in the comments if I'm really hitting on anything, but it's just what I feel. Multiple personalities. I think with this multiple personality energy is like there's many facets of you, many faces of you, Gemini. Like on one hand, you could be a hustler. On the next hand, you could be a lover. The next hand, you could be like super spiritual into poetry. And on the other hand, you could be like, you know, a witch doctor or some shit like that. It's a lot to you. It's a lot to know about you. And I feel like usually in connections, it's a few parts of you that a person can't deal with. There's always, like, you're such a changing being. You are immutable. So when you start to show new pieces of yourself, sometimes people make a run for it. They dash for the door because they're not expecting that, and they kind of want you to stay in a box. But you're not staying in a box for anyone. But also at the same time, I feel like you've happened across a person who is like, okay, you have 3 personalities, I have 10, baby. Or you have found someone who can, you know, emotionally handle what you give on all levels of your emotions, or whichever personality you choose to pull out that day. I feel like the person is able to just rock with you, you know, a real easy, go with the flow type energy, but I don't feel like this person is a punk by a long shot. Like, they just spent the time to learn you. They've dedicated a lot of energy to learning you, Gemini. And because they dedicated that energy and they committed that energy to learning you, they know how to nurture you, regardless of whatever mood you may be in. You may wake up one day and just be the happiest person on earth. The next day is like, I don't want to go outside. I don't want to see anyone, and I don't want anyone to see me. You know what I'm saying? One day you may be the life of the party, and the next day you sitting off in the corner by yourself somewhere quiet with your head down in your phone. It's just, you never know sometimes what it is that you're going to get. But either way, don't feel like you ever have to change for anyone. Like, never feel like, a burden. Don't feel like that, okay? And that, look, the Death card came out right behind that Ten of Wands. Don't feel like you are a burden to anyone. Stop holding yourself back because you feel like someone won't be able to deal with you 100% as you are. Because you're only holding yourself back. That's not something that's true. It's kind of just where you've been looking, but I do see the energy shifting. You're shifting from looking at all of your flaws to looking more so and paying attention to this nurturing energy, which is presented itself as more abundant and higher and more understanding than anything you've ever experienced. It's like over time you've been able to kind of, just play around with the situation. And I don't mean like playing around with anyone's heart or anything, Gemini. I'm not trying to throw no shade at you or whatever. It's more like you've had time to kind of tinker with it and see what it's really made of. Like when somebody hands you something and you're trying to test it to see if it's real. Somebody hand you a gold chain and you go to moving your hand like that to see if it's heavy like real gold. I feel like you've been kind of doing that with this relationship, kind of just cuffing it in your hand and kind of bouncing it up and down to see if it's going to break, if it's going to shred, if it's going to stand together, if it's going to be 10 toes down. You're just trying to see what is it? What is it? Because I feel like until you take that measure, you're not 100% sure in letting all of yourself out. Because let's be honest, having all those personalities, have those all different sides of yourself, you don't want to come and let somebody in and just for them to, a couple weeks down the line be like, I can't deal with this. Nope. I can deal with this, that, and the other, but this, that, and the other, I cannot deal with. Then what you gonna do when you done already fell head over heels for this person, which I already feel is like a non-factor at this point. The love is a factor, but the fact that you're head over heels and trying to hide that is a non-factor because, it is what it is. It is what it is. After, so long of having these strong, immense feelings for someone, something's got to give. Something is going to be born that's going to be different from what it was when you were trying to hide emotions. It goes from hiding emotions or trying to prevent yourself from showing emotions into just suppressing true emotions. And that's where the issue comes in. And I do feel this issue here of like it being a little bit of pressure on your chest. If you have asthma, kind of watch yourself. I felt a little short of breath there, and it's not just because of my fast talking. I've been talking fast all my life. This is your ass, okay? But there's nurturing energy around you. Somebody who truly understands you, Gemini feminine. Somebody who is the total package themselves. Like they're good on their own. The Nine of Pentacles, it doesn't really get much better than that by yourself. That's where the 10 of coins come in. That's where the 10 of Pentacles comes in. That's like the full complete picture with two, equally yoked, equally healthy, stable, and secure people that come together and create a beautiful legacy. Well, before you get to that coming into union, you have to make sure you're good yourself. And I do feel that there's an energy here finally knowing that, okay, I can stand up and I can be okay and I can get things done and I can present myself without shame and without feeling pressure and without worrying about if someone is trying to control me. I can just do my thing. I can just, kind of stir my own ship, drive my own car. I don't have to let these personalities all take a turn at the wheel. I don't have to let any issues influence what side of the road I'm on. I could just go. Okay, so you're taking the wheel and you are just going. You're no longer being a passenger driver or a backseat driver. Oh, I can't stand a backseat driver. I want to push their ass out the car. But yeah, Gemini, this is the energy for you. Things are certainly changing up both in your personal life and in the relationship. And just know that if you ever question if this person was genuine, to you, they absolutely were. But you needed that time to be able to discern it. Everybody can't tell instantly off back. Everybody don't have those clear senses. And sometimes I have to remember that everybody don't have those clear senses. So they got to do their little 3D testing and weighing and, you know, weighing it up like that to see if it is what it really is, okay? So thank you so much for watching, Gemini. Like the video if it resonates, comment, let me know what's going on, subscribe if you have not already, tell a friend. We're going up in 2020, and I thank y'all so much for being here with me, just rocking and riding with these readings, okay? So I'll see y'all again later, Gemini. Bye. Love you.